get better, eh?
What the fuck?
So you're just gonna hear me mouth breathing through this whole thing. It's getting bad, eh?
From Bino?
Nah, just from the training, man. Fucking probably Jack Spacey.
Yeah, right.
Whoever I sparred with, I had a lot of blood noses leading up to that, and then fucking afterwards, man, I just got this full click.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South's very own Morgan Freeman, the man with the voice, Myles Simpson.
What's going on?
Fresh out of Vegas, fresh into preparing for the next M16 Open.
I don't know if fresh is the word, but back from Vegas and getting ready for the Open. That's probably a bit closer.
Is it as crazy as everyone says in Vegas?
Yeah, to be honest, it is. It's like there's no daytime. It's just nighttime, 24/7. Like the casinos are just built for you to basically be in all day and all night without having any idea of what time it is outside. Like, everything's free drinks, smoking at the tables, food, anything, massages, anything to keep you inside. So it's pretty easy to lose track of time. But also we had a pretty good group, so we were doing a bit of stuff on and off the strip. So we made the most of it. But yeah, it's pretty intense. It's not somewhere you want to spend more than 6 days.
Everyone says a week in Vegas is probably the ideal fucking.
Yeah, I think we got pretty lucky. We were there because we got there on a Wednesday night. We had Thursday, Friday, and then we had the CJI and ADCC all weekend, and then sort of 2 days at the end. So we had a good break of 2 days, 2 days of pretty much jiu-jitsu 24/7, and then 2 days at the end just to chill out. So that was a nice little break up in the middle. But if I went back, I wouldn't be going back for 6 days.
Did anyone compete in that? Because you were going to do a competition on the fucking Thursday. Did anyone do that?
Yeah, Jamie ended up doing it. He lost his first match to a good black belt from California, but he did pretty well. He'd been in B-team training for a week before it as well, or about a couple of weeks or something. Gary was supposed to, but they fucked up his flights, so he didn't get in until basically when his division was starting. We'd had to go straight from the airport to the event. Thanks, Qantas. Literally on the day we're supposed to leave, we all got an email at 8 a.m. Your flight from Sydney to LAX has been cancelled with no replacement. So I wigged out, went to the airport, luckily got on a Air New Zealand flight, so I went Adelaide, New Zealand, LAX, and it was straight away. I got there at 9:30, the plane boarded at 11:50, so I was straight in. Harry and Lockie got there just after me, same thing, and then Junior and Gary rocked up, and they were a little bit, maybe 15 minutes, not even that, and the dude's plenty of seats, no seats on the flight, so they had to fly to Melbourne, stay the night and fly out the next day.
So Goody got there a day late.
They all got there. We got there half a day. We got there Wednesday night a bit later, and they all got there. Junior and Kerry got there Thursday morning, but Qantas just dicked them. They're just cancelled flight, no replacement. Good luck to you, sort of thing. So so Kerry rocked up late. Didn't get to do the comp.
No shit. Was that good? Was that in the ADCC venue?
That was pretty cool actually. It was in the ADCC venue, similar setup, obviously more mats, but it was the level was insane. It was only one tiny step down from ADCC Worlds. Basically, a lot of guys that didn't win or did well in trials, they must go there to try and put on a good show and get their name out there. And also the kids are insane. Almost better than the adults. The kids over there are so good. Just crazy forward flips, takedowns, jumping past the guard. Watching the kids is better than the adults. They're so good.
I wonder if this kid I met called Carter competed, because I seen he was there.
He was there. I don't know if he competed. He might have. I'd imagine if you went all that way, you probably would. But some of the kids are just so good, and they have huge teams. The Art of Jiu-Jitsu kids and all the big gyms over there just have massive teams of just killers from 5 years old, whatever it is, to teenagers, and they're just so good.
Your kids' cars are pretty big.
Yeah, they picked up heaps lately. It's really good. We got they seem to drop off when they get to teenagers here because there's not a lot of competition and opportunities to do it. But generally, our classes are pretty busy, and the younger kids we have coming through are getting pretty good pretty quick.
Yeah, and jiu-jitsu is just getting bigger as a sport as well.
Yeah, after things like CJI, it's kind of becoming mainstream. It's only going to grow more and more, I think.
And so Declan won a match in Absolute, and he won a match in his division. Is that correct?
Yeah. So he won his first match against a guy who's been to ADCC 4 or 5 times, American trials winner. And I think he just can't get past the first round, and Declan put him out again.
Yeah.
I think he's had 4 first round exits or something. And then unfortunately got Kanan Duarte in the second round. He lost to him. Kanan went on to win the division, and then the next day he had the open weight. He got Baby Shark. He's the 2-time 66 kilo champion, absolute legend. Like, I love watching him, but I knew Declan was going to beat him, and as a full against the crowd, everyone loves Baby Shark, and Declan went out there, passed his guard, choked him, and then got Kanan again in the second round of the absolute. Unfortunately lost him again, then Kanan went on to win, so he's only ever lost in ADCC to the double gold medalist this year and a previous winner as well.
No, yeah, fucking Declan's going to have a hell bright future.
Yeah.
And his seminar, he's got a seminar in Adelaide coming up at M16, yeah?
No, he's on the Open. We managed to get him in. He's got a couple.
He's
of
going to compete.
He's going to compete on the Open. Then he's got another big match. I'll wait for that show to announce it. That's not ours to announce. But yeah, he's got a couple of big matches coming up. And I think even before that, back in Austin, I believe he has a match on WNO. He's just waiting for an opponent. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got a good name like a Lovato Jr. or a Pixley or one of those like. I guess he's essentially top 10 in the world. I think he just got ranked in Jiu-Jitsu magazine at number 8, but you'd say he's top 10 of the world around that 99 kilo mark, so wouldn't be surprised to see him taking on some of the bigger names.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird.
Insane. Just 6 months ago, he was at Seaford, he's obviously, we knew how good he was, but he just needed that extra level up in training and the opportunities, and now they're going to come pouring in, I think.
I always forget how young he is as well, because he's such a fucking big man.
Yeah, he's a big man.
And like, he's growing into himself though. Like he looks so strong now.
Yeah, and
I'd hate to be at M16 the day he comes to train there.
Hopefully he comes back like just before his match in the Open, so he's kind of wound down his training, because I don't really want to get thrown around by him for a couple of weeks leading up to my match. I'll go in with zero confidence after that.
And you have your match. Is yours the main event or like a co-main?
No, I like to be sort of at the start of the main card, so I can watch the undercard, have my match, and then watch the ones after, and in case I need to do anything. Declan will obviously main event. We got a title fight on there as well. We lost a couple of people who were matched and then couldn't for various reasons, but the main card's pretty strong, so it'll be good fun. It'll be the best Adelaide Jiu-Jitsu card's had for a while, or probably ever.
Who's your guy again?
His name's Siraj. He's from Melbourne. He's good. He's really good. He came second at trials a couple of years ago to Kenta. He was on the podium with Kenta and Joseph, so that just sort of shows what sort of level he's at. He just won the Nationals recently in Melbourne, weight and open weight, so it's another shit matchup for me, but I think that's what I like.
I was fucking surprised that Joseph didn't go further in CJI. I was really surprised.
I think everyone was. He was smoking him too. I think he was all over him. Then he got caught with I guess you'd call it a bullshit submission. It's not like not a submission you see all the time. Not a high percentage attack, some sort of calf slicer or something.
Who did? There was that Brazilian guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joseph was all over him. I love watching that kid. He's probably the best to watch for sure right now. One of them.
Yeah, he's fucking huge as well. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was. He was bigger than that Hulk dude.
Yeah, and Hulk has gone down from something crazy. I think Hulk's done 88 and 99 at ADCC, and then going down to 80 and look smaller than some of them's crazy.
Yeah, he's a fucking big unit. But yeah, Jiu-Jitsu's popping off right now.
Yeah, thanks to CJI. ADCC is always going to be like the benchmark in terms of level of Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, they'll sick match say CJI too, but like I don't know what the word is, like the sports entertainment that CJI brought, that's where you're going to get crossover fans from other sports, and like just general public and mainstream are going to watch something like that and be like, yeah, that's a sport I'm going to watch more of.
What was it like watching Gordon live?
We left.
Did you?
So we watched ADCC pretty much all of day one, and then there was like a break before the Gordon match, and then we realised if we left we could get to CJI and to see the whole thing. So we jumped in an Uber, went to CJI, walked in right as Nicky Rod, that was the first match of CJI that day, right as Nicky Rod was choking his guy, and then caught the whole CJI day too. So it worked out like perfect. We missed Gordon, but Tommy Puro and I think maybe Lockie stayed back. We messaged him and he said it was a 30-minute match and he won by 2 points anyway, so we didn't miss much.
Yeah, I heard it was a pretty close match as well.
And it must have been empty, man, because it was empty when we left. Like, there was not much people there at all.
A lot of people probably would have like seen what they wanted and then gone to CJI.
Yeah, I think everyone just assumed Gordon was going to destroy Ben. He didn't, but it was an exciting match, not like what you were getting at CJI anyway.
That fucking gap between him and Nicky Rod's definitely closed.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what would happen there.
Right now, for sure. But Gordon's like, I'm only at 30%, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, if that's how you can go into a match, that's your new 100. If you've ruined your body that bad that you're only competing at 30%, that's your 100% now. You can't just say that, I'm only 30%. That's like...
Is the steroid abuse that fucked his stomach, eh?
Who knows? He says antibiotics, staph, steroids, could be anything, man. Yeah, who knows?
That ADOS has a fucking stacked gym, eh?
Yeah, Galveo's gym. I think they've always been good for a long time, really. Like, obviously, Galveo's, like 6 or 7 time ADCC champion. And they've just obviously got a huge program and heaps of good Brazilians and just from kids all the way to adults.
That Australian girl trains out of there, yeah?
Yeah, Adele. So she trains here, but I think when she does her big camps in America, she trains out of Atos, Adele Fornerino.
But she's still based in Australia?
I believe so. I think she trains out of Melbourne. Dominance, don't know into this, but I think it's Dave Hart, whoever that is. I think it's Dominance, or I'm not sure.
She won her division and Absolute.
Yeah, she killed it. She's amazing.
That's fucking... And she's done an M16 Open. Oh.
Yeah, she's had one... Yeah, she had a match with Taylor. That was actually really close. Obviously, she's improved a lot since then. I think she was really good in the gi, and she crossed over to no gi. I think that was early on in her no gi days when she was with... had a match with Taylor. But I know they, went back and forth, and she ended up winning by judge referee's decision, I reckon.
Speaking of Taylor, she's fucking got she got an Olympic athlete at the gym now and an ADCC fucking competitor.
They're in the same month. If ADCC wasn't in the same month, I reckon I probably would have tried to go to the Olympics to see Taylor, but unfortunately they fell only 3 weeks apart. But that's pretty cool. Obviously M16's not the reason why Declan came to us already as an established black belt. Taylor's been wrestling since she was 6 years old, but just the fact they were training out of our gym when they made it shows that the program we have and the guys and this, the way we're running the gym is elite level. Like, we can help athletes get there, which is pretty cool to see.
How is gym life?
You probably know better. I have to do PTs nearly every day, so you hear all of it. But yeah, running a gym is definitely a volatile, I don't know what the word is, career path. Like, it's always up and down, it's always seasonal.
A lot of people haven't fucking recovered from COVID yet.
Yeah, there's still people that are scared of that shit. Some people probably never will recover from it. That definitely changed the way people think about health and fitness, and just in general, they're just scared now. without putting it any other way. Like, everyone's got an excuse why they can't do something now.
Is Jack back now? Because his hand was a bit stuffed.
Yeah, so he's training again. I think he got some scans on Friday. I think he wants to fight before the end of the year, but he did say that he came back, he got a cortisone, came back, injured it again, but I think he said it's better again now. But he just hasn't really had a clear, they haven't told him what's wrong with it. They said it's like a fracture of the knuckle. First they said it was nothing, bone bruising. I think now they said it's a fractured knuckle, but he hasn't really had a doctor tell him, this is what's wrong with it, this is how long it's going to take, don't do this, do this. So yeah, at the moment he's kind of in limbo, but hopefully that gets fixed up and he'll be fighting before the end of the year.
It's insane that M16's slowly brick by brick has built a stud roster. That gym now has an insane amount of talent in there. It's fucking murderer's row some nights. Some nights you walk in there and you just want to walk back out in the car park because it's fuck.
It is and it isn't. We're small. You got to think Seaford is fuck all compared to even out north. There's so many more people. We don't have that big of a pool down here. We're just lucky that we've got some good guys, and a good program set up where we've got enough good guys to be able to make guys get good quick as well. But I mean, there's far bigger gyms in Adelaide with heaps more fighters and stuff. But we just think pound for pound, for how many people we have in, to how many guys we have do well is pretty good.
I was talking to someone the other day. I won't say his name, but he was saying how he doesn't know how he feels about he's a fighter. He doesn't know how he feels about fighting anymore because he fucking lives not in this area, and he's the gyms are just too few and far between, and good fighters don't really want to train with you up my way, and M16's fucking an hour away, and there's only two or three really elite level gyms in Adelaide where you can get that training that'll transfer over to fighting people from interstate and shit.
Yeah, that's 100% the problem. I'd say on a DFC you get 4 or 5 gyms. There's M16, Cardio Flex, Element, Trinity, and CCMA, probably the 5 gyms that are producing. There's other gyms, but they're the ones that are producing regular talent. And like you said, they're all so far and spread out, and you can't really cross-train too much because you're going to have to fight them. But if we want to take on the interstate gyms, we have to cross-train because we need guys. Every gym has one guy in each weight class or something like that. But if we want to think bigger picture, interstate, nationally, internationally, UFC level, then all the gyms need to come together because there's one gym in Melbourne probably that's bigger than every gym in Adelaide put together. Yeah. So if we want to think we want to beat them, which is what we should be, but instead Adelaide spreads out, small-minded, trying to be the best in a small pool, which has always been the problem, really. Like, it's been like that for a long time.
Did you see Webb's fight?
I did. I watched it back only like 2 days later, but I didn't see it live. But fucking what a scrap, eh?
Bro, that motherfucker stepped in on like 3 or 4 days' notice or something as well.
I knew he was good. What is it, Kevin
Coppler?
Kevin Cop Hamill or whatever it is. But like, I knew he was good. I knew it was going to be a tough match. When I thought about it, I'm like, it's probably a harder match because he's more well-rounded. He's got nothing to lose. And David Martinez is good, but you know exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to walk through your shots, try and grab you and throw you on the ground. Whereas that Kevin is like very well rounded, and
he was throwing.
Yeah, he had nothing to lose, and he fought like that. Like, that was probably the best 5-round domestic MMA fight in a long time.
Oh, I was so surprised because I was like, I reckon I didn't obviously know who this bloke was, and I was like, fuck, it's a short notice fight. Webb's just going to like march through him, and he did not.
Nah, not at all. And then like showed, it probably put a handbrake on Harry Webb's career for a little bit just because of the injuries, but like it showed that Harry can dig deep and he's got like the grit, because everyone's like, oh, he hasn't been tested. It's about as big a test as you'll ever fucking get. Take the name aside, maybe no one knows Kevin, but if you do know him, you know he's good. But like the fact he came out of 5 rounds like that injured, that banged up, still got it done, still has his head, like his hand held up, and he's like, you know, injured, and he's still taking it in his stride, like ready for the next one. So.
And there's still people even sooking saying that he lost the fight. That's such a pick-em fight. That's like such a hard fight to score.
It was pretty even. I would have given it to Harry, but like I could see how it could go the other way. But like no one really lost, did they?
No, I don't think he was complaining either that he lost. I think they were like a pretty. You've got no energy to complain after a fight like that.
Yeah, and now they'll probably run it back, or Kevin will go to featherweight and probably give everyone a fucking nightmare. Now he'll probably be the most avoided guy in the country.
Is Webb lightweight?
Yeah, he's a lightweight. And Kevin's huge, and he can make feather.
Homeboy got that knockout in Contender Series as well.
Yeah,
was it
Cody Haddon.
Haddon.
That's crazy, man. Australians, and his teammate Quillen's on tomorrow, and then I believe like Drillich and.
Yeah, I think
Stuart Nickel, I think they're both gone to. I think like four
or five.
Yeah, shows that the pathway's there and people are starting to make it.
Was Haddon fighting Hex, or was he the Eternal champ?
He was fighting in Hex. I don't know if he was the bantamweight champ or not. I know Sean Gauchi was the bantamweight Hex, the featherweight Hex champ.
Wasn't Haddon on the card that Zach was on?
Possibly. I'm not sure, to be honest. I know he has had a few fights with X. I just don't know if he won the belt or not. Very good boxer, good wrestler. And their gym's pretty cool. Like Ramel, I think his name is Ramel Luistro. They're quite a small gym. Like, they're not huge. Just a really tight-knit team that just shows you that like the size of your team doesn't matter. They just got a bunch of good guys that work well together, and they've gone from being amateurs to pros to UFC level together. Like, that team hasn't really brought in any big names. They don't recruit. They don't steal people. He's built that team from the ground up. From literally Quillen was only an amateur in like 2018, I reckon, and now 2024 he's getting a UFC shot. I believe Cody was a boxer when he was younger, so he had a bit of experience, but still, like, MMA wise, that doesn't always translate. And then he's gone the same thing, amateur, pro, UFC. So the pathway's getting smaller and smaller for Aussies.
That's like the same as like John Campbell, Webb's trainer. His gym's not fucking. Well, he doesn't even have a gym at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was on fire. Crazy how that went down too, eh?
Yeah, it's a strange. I don't know. MMA in Australia is a strange thing to navigate.
A gym just catches on fire the night that a fighter starts training at signs with another promotion, and then it just gets swept on the rug and no one talks about it again.
Yeah, and then
like it was just an accident.
And then the gym he was like staying at, I think they broke in and like stole all of the belts.
So, come on, guys. No one says anything. I guess you can't. What can you do? You can't prove anything happened, but like you'd have a sneaking suspicion.
It's hard though, because there's only like 2 or 3 big promotions in Australia. So if you cut a bridge with one, then there's only fucking 1 more option, 2 more options.
Yeah, there's more and more popping up, but yeah, generally like you can't afford to burn too many bridges in this game, or it's your fighters that are going to miss out. I've had to suck it up and walk across a couple bridges. I'd rather not, but you have to for the fighters. You know, at the end of the day, it's them that need the fights, not me. So if I have to deal with people I don't want to deal with or whatever, then you just got to do it.
Would you still do an MMA promotion?
No, never. I enjoy doing the Open. That's about as far as I'll go now. Like the Jiujitsu Open's not too bad, but it's not enough fighters in MMA in Adelaide. It if I did, I would want it to be like a good show, and I just don't feel like we have the talent here to have run. We already run, like DFC do 2 or 3 shows, Element do 1 or 2, and I feel like that's like as much as the market and our talent pool can handle, even that stretching it a bit. So, there's no room for a third promotion. I'd fully back like Eternal or something to come back here, because I'd bring interstate guys and stuff and do another one. That'd be cool, but I think they tried and didn't fail, but I don't think they got the support they wanted, so I think they've cut ties with ever coming back to Adelaide.
Yours was the last Eternal, yeah?
Yeah.
With the Titanium Arena?
No, they did.
Or was it the one at HQ?
The HQ one after that, yeah.
That was fucking good.
Sick.
Why
that was
does
a good card?
It's so good.
Yeah.
There's Jack Ford on that. And Zach.
Zach, and Fiddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it clean? Jack lost, but it was Zach and
Fiddler won.
Yeah. Fiddler fell into a triangle.
Yeah, he was doing an armbar the wrong way, and then he just spun and did some full. That's Fiddler. Did some Fiddler shit.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, no big promotions really come here anymore.
No, that's why I don't.
But we do have good fighters. There is good fights to be had here. It's just like you said, it's not the deepest talent pool.
Yeah, there's just not enough to continually run them. You can do like 3 or 4 shows a year, but like Sydney, Queensland, Melbourne, they're doing them like every 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But they got the fighters to do it. So even Perth's picking up. Perth's got a pretty good scene at the moment. Obviously headed by like Scrappy MMA, and then what's his name? Urseg made the UFC, and you got Della and Drillers who go on. Like the Perth scene's probably up there with the number 1 in the country, I'd say.
Isn't the bloke that you were supposed to have a match with rolling, starting his own promotion, or started his own promotion?
Yeah, Damien Brown.
Yes, Damien Brown.
Beat Down Promotions in Queensland. From all accounts, that's a really good show. They sell out heaps of tickets, heaps of tables. Like, they get massive crowds. Well, I don't know what the size of the venue is, but in terms of like support, they get huge support, and they do it free. All their promotions are free on YouTube too, so they obviously have a good business model that's working for them, and that's where Stuart Nickel came from. So he was fighting mainly on Beatdown Promotions and XFC. He made it to the UFC, so I know they do a good mix of pro and amateur together. I think Junior Taffa was on there. Like they pay the pros obviously to have main events and good high level fights on there, scattered with the amateurs as well.
Yeah, right. Beat Down MMA. He has like pretty good understanding of how the sport works, obviously, because he had a few UFC fights.
He had UFC fights, he had Risen fights, he actually commentates for Risen, so he's heavily involved in the scene. He obviously has grappling matches and does a bit of everything, so he's still involved in every part of it. So, and he has a huge gym. Their gym is absolutely massive.
Where is it?
In Brisbane. They have 2 locations, but like it's just a big gym, like huge facility. Like I think when Craig does seminars, they get like 120 people or something to a seminar there, and it looks like I have 30 people in my gym's about the same density, so it's a big gym. But he's a good guy, and he's been around it for ages, so he deserves it. He's one of those people that his career for fighting turned into his gym, and then his commentating gig, and it's still grappling on the side, so he still hasn't walked away from it and then tried to come back in.
It's starting to pick up a lot in certain places in Australia, and you can see the talent coming out of everywhere now, because you eventually will see a heap more Australians in the UFC. There's already a fuckload of Aussies in the UFC.
Yeah, and the ones that are in it do very well.
High level.
It seems like only really the heavyweights are struggling, like Bam Bam, Taffa.
It's just hard.
They're not doing the high level grappling. They all just look there. It's like they just want to strike, but there's no
Mark Hunt.
Yeah, there's no money in Glory or 1FC heavyweight kickboxing, so they're just doing MMA and they're just losing fights that they could win. Not easy, but like if they just, I don't know, it's easy to say that from the outside, but they just need to change the way they train. Like it's 100%. They need to do more wrestling, more grappling.
Just learn how to wrestle up.
Yeah, learn how to wrestle up, get better at defending takedowns. But you have to wrestle. You can't just get in the gym and practice takedown defense all the time. You need to actually wrestle, so you understand the positions. You've been in every position. You're used to the energy you use and that. But yeah, it'd be good to see those guys. Like Taffa Brothers, the legends. Bam Bam's so good, but like he's on like a 5-fight skid now.
Yeah, they'll never get rid of Bam Bam. Like,
you reckon?
No way.
It has to be close.
I don't reckon. Why would they get rid of him? He's just going to be one of those fighters. He's going to lose 4 fights, win 2 by knockout, do a shoey, and then everyone will forget.
Yeah, just put him off the main card.
Just give him a good matchup. Yeah. Rosenstrike's a fucking shit matchup. Just give him like a shit fighter.
Yeah, basically, give him guys that just want to bang that.
Just give him a can.
Give him like the Tank Abbots of this generation.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because he's got a hell chin, he's got a hell power, and he can actually grapple and leg kick and stuff as well, but I don't know why, he just hasn't been putting it together. And he's been doing camps. I think he did his last camp with Saki over in like Dubai or wherever, so you'd assume he's got some good coaching and training partners. Just don't know why on fight night it's not happening.
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I don't know. I reckon he can definitely win some fights. I reckon he's probably got a better shot of reaching like a top 10, top 15 than the toughers.
Yeah, they could all do it. They should all train together and bring in a couple big heavyweight wrestlers.
They're all from Sydney, aren't they?
Yeah, I think toughers, I believe, from Logan, like the up near Brisbane, pretty much in between. I think Logan's like in between Goldie and Brisbane. They train with Nugget, who's probably like the best Thai gym in Australia. He's been around forever. He's like the staple for Muay Thai, but they just obviously need some like big guys to wrestle and grapple with. I don't know how many they get there or what, but they're doing 90%. You feel like they're so close, but they just need that extra little bit.
Just need to learn how to wrestle up, because as soon as you just have to everyone knows now, you just have to take them down, and they can't get back up.
And when they do, you're tired, you're sloppy, and then you get knocked out by a grappler because you've been wrestled.
Fucking the UFC's it'll be out when this podcast is out the week of this. It's the Sphere card.
Is that who's fighting in that? That's not Holloway and
the Sphere card.
Yeah, who's on
it's Marab.
Oh yeah, Marab and O'Malley.
I don't know who's on the prelims. I reckon the closer it gets, I thought Marab was going to win, but the closer it gets, I reckon O'Malley's going to put his lights out in the first round.
You reckon?
Marab gets hit really early on in the fights. If you watch his first round, he walks forward and he gets cracked.
O'Malley's grown on me. He's one of those guys that I was
not interested at all.
Yeah, I was not about it, and now I'm like, and I like his coach too. I like their podcast. They have a team. Yeah, Tim Welch, is it? Yeah, I rate him as a coach, and I actually started listening to their podcast. That Tim's super knowledgeable, big fan of the sport. Like, yeah, he's not bad.
Who is it?
You got Grasso versus Shevchenko. Didn't Ortega and Lopez already fight?
No, the fight got cancelled, and Lopez for someone else.
Oh yeah, like up a weight class or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's in the UFC. I don't even know any of these people anymore.
It's actually not great. It's not that great a card.
Nah, all the names that I follow are like retired now. I'm too old for it.
Oh, that's that 6 to 17-year-old.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that everyone's starting to retire.
Yeah, all my favourites are gone nearly.
Everyone.
That severe thing's pretty cool though. We've seen that in Vegas. It's wild. Like, it's obviously got like different shit on it all the time. Some of them's got like just big bowls floating around, and had like a Cheetos ad with that chest of the Cheetos, like running around chasing a Cheeto. I'm like, I wonder how much fucking money they pay to get that on there.
You didn't go in it?
Nah, we asked the Uber driver about it. Like, what do you do? One of the guys who we've asked, and he was saying that all they have is like a 3D experience, or like something where you go and watch a movie, but the movie's on like saving the environment. And then he's like, the irony of like the most expensive, most energy fueled building in Las Vegas talking about saving the environment is just fucking stupid. So I'm like, I'm not sitting through that.
How are they going to do a UFC in there?
I don't know.
Is it going to be? Is the screen going to be like?
No, I think they can just set the screen to black, or something. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know how it works. Like, the whole outside is obviously just a massive projector screen, so it's nice to have multiple projectors that shoot all over the roof. But inside, I believe it's just a normal venue, like grandstand, stage, set it up however you want.
Oh, because I thought
So I imagine that'll just be black. Like when the UFC's on, the whole background will be black.
It'd be sick if they put that as the screen.
Imagine just projecting it to the whole Las Vegas. You're just watching it on this massive sphere, because it's pretty big. Like, it's huge.
Yeah, right.
We didn't get that close, only in the car from probably like, I don't know, a few hundred meters away, but like, it's a big building.
Is Vegas big?
Yeah, massive. And it's so different to what you think. You know, when you watch like movies and you see the Strip, you got like the MGM, the Bellagio, Trump, like it's all looks together.
Yeah.
You don't realise that the MGM's like a city block.
Is it?
So like, you walk out the doors, and if you want to go to the next casino, you got to walk down the Strip, past like on the outside of MGM, obviously all shops and restaurants and takeaway shops and all that. It's like 300 or 400 meters to like even get away from the MGM to the next one. Then you got to cross the road. It's not like casino. Because it was so hot, you couldn't really do it during the day. So we did it at night time a couple of times. Went down and had a look at all the different casinos, but it's not like you think where you just walk out the MGM, walk into the next one, walk out that, walk into the next one. It's like, it's pretty spread out, whatever it is, like 3 or 4 Ks from one end to the other.
Yeah, right. I always thought they were just...
Yeah, when you see the movies and stuff of it, they must just edit it like super fast, so it's like casino, but it's not. There's so much shit in between. I mean, it still is. Essentially, the Strip is just casinos, but like there's definitely a bunch of crap in between that you don't want to see if you just go and look at the casinos.
Yeah, right.
We did this thing one night. We went to see the Bellagio fountains, but it was like 12:15 at night, maybe something like that. We're like, let's go for a walk. Like, we'd been doing something for I can't remember. Maybe it was after Top Golf or something. We walked down there and Jamie got it up on Google and it said the Bellagio fountains go off every 15 minutes. Right. I'm like, cool. But he didn't read the second half, so we're sitting there for ages and I'm like, Jamie, when are they coming on? He goes, it's got to be 3 minutes. I'm like, Jamie, when are they coming on? It's been like way longer than 3 minutes. He goes, it's got to be any minute now. And then Kerry Googles the same thing Jamie did, and like the next sentence was, they stop at 12 a.m.
Oh, what a fuck.
So we'd been standing there for like half an hour waiting for them. They never come on. Jamie had the same thing. He's like, I didn't read that half. I just stopped it every 15 minutes. So we seen the fountains during the day. We didn't see them that night, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
What a fuckwit.
Yeah, they look pretty. All the casinos look pretty cool. Like they all like there's that pyramid one.
The Luxor.
Yeah, the Luxor's killer. It's got the light that goes up, big Sphinx on the front.
And they're all the same on the inside, though.
Yeah, they all got the same poker machine. As soon as you walk through the door, even like one night we're like, let's get out of the casino and go to this. It was called Steak and Burgers and Shakes or something. Like, let's just go across the road and get burger and shake. Go in there. It's another casino. You walk in, there's just gaming machines everywhere, and I'm like, you cannot get away from gambling in Las Vegas. They're everywhere.
I would have been fucked. You have?
But you get over it. The novelty wears off. Like, I enjoy having a poke, and then like after a day or two, you just kind of like, I'm gonna go get lunch. It's like, cool, I gotta walk past 400 poking machines to get there.
Did you get like In-N-Out or get delicious junk food?
Yeah, they were the three. So when I went there, Jess told me like I have to get Raisin Canes. She watches TikTok, and apparently the sauce in Raisin Canes
is that
like
chicken?
Yeah, there's all these like videos about this sauce and how it's so good. So I had Raisin Canes. That was really good. I wanted to try Popeyes mainly because of Daniel Cormier. He always goes on about it. Popeyes was sick. I liked them all. I don't know how anyone could say they're bad. They're way better than KFC. And then we had In-N-Out. And In-N-Out's sick because it's like they only have 3 burgers on there, like a single, a double, and maybe one other. I can't remember what the other burger is. So like every burger that comes out's the same. And they were so good. They were like, I don't know, way better. Macca's and Hungry's are nothing on them.
Why don't we have good fried chicken places
I don't
here,
know,
bro?
but the fried chicken there is so good. The Popeyes, you could just sit there and eat 1,000 nuggets. They were so good, just perfect.
Yeah, I'm so sick of fucking KFC. Because KFC used to be like the one takeout I would go out of my way for.
And they got rid of crispy strips and replaced them with those tenders, and they were not the same.
No, and it's not like that fried chicken's like crispy as fuck.
Yeah.
It looks crispy.
Even in the casino, every casino has a food court, and they just have random, just like, I don't know, so it's got like USA Wings and Burger or Wings and Co or something. Even the wings you get from there at like 3 a.m. in a casino is like killer. Like you can't complain about them at all. So like pretty much just ate wings and chips and steaks for a week. That was it.
Did anyone go visit like Extreme Couture or anything?
Nah, I did plan on doing that originally, but it just sort of like, we're only there for 6 days with CJI and ADCC taking up so much time. Like it was heaps of time in Vegas, but not heaps of time to really do much, like, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, we didn't do anything like that. I did train one day. Dan from Street X kept messaging me, calling me a coward. I don't know why he wanted to train. He's like, you're a coward. So I'm like, I didn't even have my gear. I didn't bring it for the exact reason I didn't want to train. So he was calling me a coward. But I said, if you grab me a kit, he was setting up the Street X thing at CJI. So if you bring me a kit, I'll come to the gym. I'll meet you there. So we went to some gym. It was probably like half an hour away from the Strip, which is pretty cool going out to kind of see like the outskirts of Las Vegas where people actually live. We went and trained there one day for like, I don't know, half an hour or 45 minutes or something. And then that was it. That was the extent of any training or physical exercise.
Yeah, I met him in Perth briefly after the UFC.
I was pretty happy he did actually give me the kit because I was going to buy one at CJ. I was like, those pink kits are sick.
Oh, did you get one?
The lineup for merch was insane. Like, they must have made bank. Like, they killed it. From the time we got there, because we went the first night before we went to see Declan at the weigh-in, and the lineup didn't get shorter. It was coming from both ways, like 50-metre line probably. Like, it would have been half an hour, 40-minute wait to get any of that Street X CGI merch. Insane.
Was it like 6,000-7,000 people?
Nah, I'm not good at numbers in terms of crowd, but like the first night wasn't packed. It was probably half full, and obviously they had like the curtain brought forward a fair bit, so I don't know how many people could fit in. I'd say like 3,000 to 5,000 maybe. The next night was more full. But yeah, it was still busy. Like the crowd was still like super loud. You wouldn't have known if it was full or not because they were going crazy. When Taka and Rutulo had that match,
were you there for that?
That was insane.
You were there.
I'd right up there. Remember when UFC Perth when Volks fought Islam? The crowd was going nuts. I honestly think the crowd for that Rutulo Taka match was more insane. I think because it was more neutral. Like people were just so stoked for the match itself, not like half the crowd or three-quarters, well, I'd say 100% of the crowd wanted Volks to win against Islam. Was biased. I think everyone was just so pumped on how good that match was. It just went crazy, and it was just like looking around. It was just so good to be there and be a part of it.
You seen it live?
Yeah, seeing it live.
Fuck.
And watching it live was just as insane. We're just like, what is going on? They're just
bro, they didn't stop.
Yeah, that was wild.
They didn't stop. And I reckon when people actually figure out how to use the pit, it's going to be even better, because it'd be such a weird fucking learning curve.
I thought there was going to be a horrific injury. I said to Adam before we went.
Posting or something.
Posting or stepping back. You know, like sometimes you see it against the cage and people roll their ankle. I thought because of the angle, you know, Nicky Rod's going to back some big guy up and he's going to step, not see the cage, and his foot and his heel's going to go on, his foot's just going to snap. I was just waiting for it. That never happened. Not that I wanted it to happen, but I just had this feeling. I'm like, someone's going to do a leg or an ankle or like your post, like you said, like something. But no, if anything, it probably stopped a bunch of people getting run off the mat and slammed into the ground, like in ADCC.
Oh, I'm interested to see if that comes around more in jiu-jitsu now, because it's such a good fucking...
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's the best. Well, it's hard to tell. You need to do more, but I think in terms of like keeping action on the mats and having to engage, it's the best for sure.
It's just, and it looks fucking really hard to throw up submissions from the bottom, so you really do have to kind of get out of that position as well, because it looks impossible when your head's pressed up against it. It looks fucked.
Same as a cage, really. Like if you can just push guys to the bottom of it and stack them, they're not going to be able to like do much from there. But also the guy on top, you lose like 50% of you know, you can't pass to that side because the wall's there and things like that. So pros and cons, but I think it's like you said, it's going to be, if more shows do it, it'll be interesting to see if that's the new staple.
Do you reckon we'll ever see Rod and Ryan?
Nah. I don't know, Gordon Ryan put up some massive rant about it the other day. To be honest, I almost feel like that's like holding... At the start, the rivalry was good, but now I feel like it's getting like petty. Like Nicky Rod's the best. Nicky Rod just like calls him out and then goes about his day, whereas Gordon Ryan goes on like 7,000 rants, and it's like... It gets a bit boring. And him and Craig go back and they're like children. Gordon's like, I'm only going to fight you for $2 million if I can fight you both. And the next sentence, I'll fight you on site. It's like, what is it, when you're healthy for $2 million or for free in a car park garage, you know? Like, it makes no sense. It's just so bad, and Craig just keeps feeding into him and just fueling him, and Gordon Ryan just going mental.
Did you see where was it? Gordon messaged Craig and he was like, "So just so we're clear, it's on site." Blah blah blah. It's like fucking.
After he had just said he'd only fight him for $2 million, like on his chosen play, you know, it's like that makes no sense at all. So now you're going to fight him for free and possibly end up in jail, or you know, something stupid happening. But 10 minutes ago he said you'd only fight him for $2 million at the same time as like the same day as Nicky Rod. It makes no sense.
I wonder what like normal people in jiu-jitsu think of Gordon and Craig, because surely they're like, these two fucking retards are the face of the sport.
It's interesting, like it's getting eyes on the sport, and it is good to watch them go back and forth, but some days I watch it and I'm just like, surely, come on guys, like you did, like you said, what's Gordon 28 and Craig's 33 and they're bickering about having a street fight on site. It's like, come on guys, have a match, get paid $2 million each.
Brazilians would be fucking doing donuts in their graves right now.
Yeah, but I don't know, look at the fucking numbers on CJI and what Craig did. He definitely changed the sport forever. Like there's no going back from those numbers. It'd be interesting to see what sort of numbers Tackett versus Rotullo gets in terms of viewers. Like, you know, obviously the hardcore fans seeing it live, then that trickles out to people, friends of friends who are going to watch it, and then see if that could get like 1 million views or a few million views on YouTube. That's when you know jiu-jitsu's on the right path.
Oh, it's the exact same thing that Bonner and Griffin did for the UFC.
That's what they're calling it.
It's the exact same thing.
Just takes that one match to get out there so far and wide that people are like, "What is this? I need to watch this."
Because there was no stalling. They were trying to they were aggressive. Like they were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, and then they shake hands, and then they were like so cool afterwards, you know. It's like, you know, at least I lost to a guy who's a legend. Like there was no like, fuck you, I won, rah rah. It was just like good sportsmanship, good jiu-jitsu, and also the willingness to die in there for $1 million. Like they were not going to tap for anything.
Musa Meshi and Rotolo got cancelled.
Yeah, I seen that. Kade hurt his leg. Not surprising after going 4 matches.
Yeah.
And a milli, you know, if you didn't win that milli, you'd probably be more inclined to push and go.
Would you say Rotolo would win that anyway?
Yeah, I think so. He's far bigger, but who knows? Mikey's the gun as well, but size-wise, and if Rotolo can beat the guys he just did, I don't think Mikey can beat him. But yeah, once you win $1 million, your body, like before $1 million, your body's a bit more, you'll put it on the line for money, but I think once you win $1 million, that's a bit more like, all right, I'll step back and let my injuries heal and just enjoy this money for a little bit.
That's such a fucking crazy prize pool for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Well, they saying you lose some to tax, but even if it's $700,000, still life-changing money, really. Like, because they're building a gym and stuff at the moment, that's the whole gym paid for now.
Have to win ADCC 70 times to make that money.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
That's fucked. And now there's money in jiu-jitsu now, and there's money in jiu-jitsu for Declan. Oh, there's more money in jiu-jitsu for Declan now, because now I imagine his seminars could fucking double in price now.
Yeah, yesterday's price is not today's price, is the old saying, and I think that's true for sure. Thing is, you can't push it too much, but like you also have to know your worth. You can't be doing like tiny little ones for nothing now, because then the big gym's like, well, you did this here, so like you have to kind of set a price and stay to it, and if that means you lose some but get bigger ones, that's what you have to do, I think.
Is he going to do any seminars while he's down here?
I think so. Hopefully he does something in Adelaide. Obviously we'll get him in to do something at the gym. We usually get him to do like a program that runs over 3 or 4 weeks, or he obviously teaches classes and things like that, so we obviously want to do it.
Is he going to be down for a while?
He'll be here for a couple of weeks, I think, because he's coming down for the Open and he has another match, so I believe he'll be in Adelaide training for that, or he might go interstate, I'm not sure. But he'll be long enough to do a little bit. And then hopefully, I think he's trying to plan some seminars around Australia and New Zealand and maybe through Asia and then back to Texas.
And shout out to the man of the hour, Lucas Cannard.
Yeah, what a guy, eh? That was unbelievable.
I was fucking shocked. But it was shocking, as in it looked like he was just drilling it. Like when you do that back step in class when you're drilling it, that's exactly how it looks.
It's funny because I always tell guys at the gym the back step's dead. I'm like, it doesn't work. What is this, like 2015? And then he goes out and does it to like the number 2 seed on the biggest show in the world. I'm like, all right, the back step's alive and well.
So clean as well.
Yeah, he's a gun there. They've always been really good to us. Ali, that is in Sydney Wrestling Academy as well. Him and Lucas are just absolute legends. I actually, like, not that I have much of a voice anyway, but I actually lost my voice in that match on the first night of CJI. Lucas won and I just went mental. Like, Jamie, we had a backstage pass. Like I said to Jamie, like, give me it, I need to go find him. Went down there. Turns out that building's a lot bigger backstage than what it was. Never found him, but I'd lost my voice anyway. So by the time I got to ADCC day 1 in the morning, I was like, even worse than this. I was just like, go Declan. Like, it was bad. And I was literally just from Lucas winning. I was so pumped for him. And then, yeah, got submission in the tournament as well. So he banked a nice 50k or whatever it was, 60k.
That's a fucking not a bad way to spend your weekend, winning 60 grand.
Yeah, considering he was very late to jump from ADCC to CJI, and even if he won ADCC, he would have got 10, so he made 6 times as much. And that win over Victor Hugo is probably not bigger than winning ADCC, but that's viral forever. You can never take that away from him. You know, it's not going to get overlooked by anything. That's one of the best submissions you'll ever see.
Yeah, that was, and he looks like a real juiced up Tom Pirro.
I don't even know if he is, to be honest. He's not even that big for, like...
He looks big on TV. He looks fucking... He's just
I don't
muscular.
know, to be honest, but I know like when he was in the gi, I think he was only competing in like mid-80s. I think he's just super strong. One of those like Tom Pirros that's just super athletic. He's been doing jiu-jitsu for God knows how long. He does a lot of gi, so he's got super strong grips, just a real wiry frame. But yeah, Declan's been telling me about him since he was like a purple belt, I reckon. Since back when Declan was at AJA, before he even came to us, and he was a gi guy, he's always told me about this Lucas guy in Sydney, and then over the years I've seen him more, and I think he's only like 10 or 15 matches into his no-gi career. Like, he was pure gi.
Hasn't he done the Open? Has he done the Open?
No, he was going to do this next one, but unfortunately he can't due to a bigger opportunity, which will come out probably by the time this podcast comes out. I'm sure he'll even announce that. But yeah, he's got a really good opportunity, so he'll still be at the Open, just not competing. But yeah, I think he was a gi guy up until...
He's going to be here?
Yeah, I think he's going to come down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll let him leg lock me on the
man,
pod.
his leg lock's legit. But yeah, you'd have to ask him, man. I could be wrong, but I reckon he's only had 12 or 13 no-gi matches in his entire life.
That's fuck all.
Yeah. Not in his entire life, but like in this run since he sort of stopped doing gi and went on this run.
The gi.
Yeah.
You going to start doing it again?
Nah, it's just not popular at our gym. I have nothing against the gi. I like it, but because we were so much Muay Thai and MMA focused, no gi just translate well. Like, it was never the fact that no one didn't like it at our gym. It just wasn't popular. We'd get 6 guys to a gi class and then 20 guys to a no gi class at the same time. So as a business owner, it's a no-brainer. It's like,
when's the last time you put on a gi?
I was wearing my black belt around. I started this craze. I was wearing my black belt. We did a grading just before, like a few weeks ago, and I was wearing my black belt around with my no-gi kit. And then I went to ADCC, and Mika Galveo and Baby Shark and all those guys were wearing their black belt over their no-gi kit. And I was like, I started this trend in the gym.
Do you reckon that do you actually think the belt system means fucking anything anymore in terms of
No.
and not in terms of, I don't want to take away people that have got black belts, but like in terms of skill, that it's not as it's not like I've seen some fucking blue belts that might as well be purple belts.
20 years ago, it was crazy. Like, you wouldn't have even seen blue belts here that weren't legit. Like, a blue belt in Adelaide would have been a killer, and then 10 years ago, like, purple and brown belts would have been killers. But nowadays, because there's just so many kids, and like 16-year-old blue belts are better than like 40-year-old black belts. You know, they like, I guess the belt in some ways doesn't mean much, but it also is recognition. It gives you like a recognition of the time spent doing the sport. You know, like. And a black belt here in Adelaide, like a black belt at M16, doesn't have to hold up against a black belt at ATOS gym in California. You know, like an Andre Galvao black belt and M16 are not the same thing. It's like geographically relevant. You know, in Adelaide, a black belt doesn't have to be as good as a black belt on the world stage, but it doesn't mean that you're not a black belt. It just means that your black belt holds weight where you're from, their black belt holds weight for where they're from, and then you get kids at a purple belt on the world stage, and they don't even care about belts. They'll beat you. Like J-Rod, purple belt, blue belt, beating black belts his whole career, basically. So I think it's still, I don't know, a belt still is recognition for what you've done. It's still an indicator of like your skill level and what you've done, but it's not like the be-all end-all like it once was.
Yeah, because it definitely seems like the skill gap closes so quickly now when kids like got that right amount of tism in them and they're fucking training a lot, and they feel like they can fit so much training in now and knowledge from fucking YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. 6 days a week and watching YouTube 5 days a week, you're learning more techniques than we even existed 10 years ago.
Have you gotten a lot of people, have you gotten like a surge of fucking people trying out Jiu-Jitsu? Because I've had actual 4 or 5 people message me when CJI, especially after that Tackett fight, I had like 4 or 5 people hit me up asking where the fuck they can do Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, the website... The website got absolutely smashed after it. Not in like hundreds, but in terms of like the regular traffic, it was probably like 5 times as much. For a good 2 or 3
can you sign up on the website and shit?
Nah, but you just send a message like, hey, I want to start jiu-jitsu, or like people must have seen Declan Moody shirts in the crowd, and like, where do we get these Declan Moody shirts, stuff like that.
Is that m16.com.au?
Yeah, M16 gym or something like that. Google it. If you're out there, Google it, come train. But like, I can't remember what I was going to say.
That if you got a search.
So like, not so much like, not like we're getting flooded with news people, but I feel like the energy in the gym and the amount, like the members that we do have, like the classes have been packed and everyone's been like on a high. I've felt it. I've been coaching and really enjoying it, and I feel like everyone's like, you know, on a riding the wave for sure, which hopefully stays around, because there's a few comps coming up in Adelaide, and I've mentioned to the guys like, it'd be cool if we all did a big comp together, and I feel like the team's like taken Declan's energy and brought it back to the gym, and all the guys that are away were super inspired by it, and like, I come back feeling good. Everyone's like, you must be dead after Vegas. I came back with like a renewed energy, like, you know, like seeing Declan on the stage, seeing Taylor at the Olympics and stuff made me be like, well, let's get more people there. Let's do more.
It's funny you say that, because I remember when we were leading up to going, you were like, I'm not watching. I'm going to ADCC. I'm watching Declan's matches, and then I'm going to be drinking beers and playing golf. Yeah, that's going to be my whole trip.
And it completely changed. Like, we were drinking the whole time, but like, you know, I was getting up in the morning. Me and Clayton started at 7 a.m. aqua aerobics class. Basically, meet down at the pool, have a swim early, and then eat breakfast, and you just felt good for the day. But yeah, I come back. Ended up watching CJI, because I think I said to you before the podcast started that like there's not much else to do in Vegas if you're not. So we did CJI and ADCC. Before I went, I was like, I'm not doing both, but I'm glad I did. And yeah, just watching it, being around it, seeing so many high level guys around and stuff. Yeah, if anything, I came back, yeah, a bit of renewed energy and like, all right, let's finish the year strong. But not only that, let's push through. Let's get more guys on the world stage, and not just my guys. I want to see guys from the Open go on. Like, we got this guy in Adelaide, Luke Marco, who's an up and coming. He's doing really good. I want to see guys.
Is he the real tall one?
Yeah, I want to see guys like him go on and do well as well. You know, the more guys we can get from Adelaide on the world stage, it's like you said, it's going to get that effect where gyms are just going to be more busier. Like, shows are going to get bigger.
There's something in the water in Australian Jiu-Jitsu, eh?
Yeah,
Australian Jiu-Jitsu is like pretty good on the world stage.
Like you're saying about UFC too, we don't have heaps of guys there, but they always do well. It's like pound for pound, the talent we make to the top level holds its own very well. But you know, we've only got 25 million people compared to America's 320 million, and half of them wrestle from 4 years old. We're doing pretty well.
The jiu-jitsu culture is almost more approachable in Australia than the MMA culture. Like, there's in Adelaide, the gym, the jiu-jitsu talent in Adelaide's fucking insane, and majority of yous can all cross-train pretty easily without any issues. Yeah,
cross-training in jiu-jitsu is far easier. You can compete against someone on the weekend and train with them on Monday in jiu-jitsu far more easy than you can in MMA. Like, if you're going to fight a guy, you're not going to train with him generally. You might have a rematch down the road or something, and it means something. In jiu-jitsu, if you're in a guy's division, you might verse him every comp for the next 6 years. You know, if me and you are white belts together, we're probably going to be blue belts together, probably going to be purple belts together, so we're going to be in the same division, the same weight. So we may as well train and have matches. You know, it's all just experience again to go and try and win nationals or ADCC trials or go bigger. If you're thinking about being the best in Adelaide, you already lost. That mindset should be dead.
Yeah, there is a shitload of good talent. Like we were talking about, like that Levi. He looks like he would be the worst person to roll with ever.
Yeah.
He looks so frustrating.
Imagine not being able to pass someone's guard. So you literally, Ritual had to start turning away, giving him legs, trying backflips. I'm like, literally, I would just quit. I'd be like, I'm done.
But then when he pulled guard on Levi, and Levi almost sliced through his guard like fucking butter, he was like, oh, no.
Because you're probably, I imagine Levi would be ridiculously strong too. You know, guys like that don't look like much, but if that guy grabbed your wrist, you're like, that's his wrist now. You're not getting it back.
Because they're gi players, as Adam was saying. They're like traditionally like gi players.
I think originally he might have been from Sydney with Lucas. I could be wrong, but I feel like they were always in the gi together. And then he spent a lot of time over in New York at Unity, won some big gi tournaments, and then they both kind of gone to no gi the last couple of years. It's crazy to think they're only like a couple of years into this no gi development. Lucas can out in the next ADCC or in 2 years from now, and Levi could be completely different beasts again.
Yeah, it's just, and it's weird because traditionally he has like aesthetically probably the most boring style to watch, but even that was fun to watch.
Yeah,
because it was like, it's so strange that Cade just couldn't pass it. Cade could not come near passing his guard.
It's like cat and mouse. It's like watching the old like Tom and Jerry's. You know, like Cade would get so close to him, then like Levi swipes at him, nearly gets entry. Cade runs away and comes back. Like you gotta, so kind of, you want to watch it because you want to see what happens if he does catch him, but also like maybe Cade passes. But it's just, there's no like full engagement. It's like watching UFC where there's bashing each other or the Tackett versus Ritulo fight. Completely different dynamic, but it's still entertaining because you still want to see what could happen.
It's just, and he looked like a fucking octopus. Like, it looks like he has an extra limb.
Yeah, if he grabs you, you're done. You can't let him get an entanglement.
And because that's not your preferred style either. You fucking aren't a fan of like the playing guard, really, are you?
It's only because I can't do it.
Yeah,
you're always going to favour what you're good at, and I do have a guard, but I'd rather be wrestle. I like to wrestle, pass, takedown. But if I'm with Levi, I wouldn't be able to pass his guard, so I'd have nothing. I wouldn't know what to do with him. But taking him down wouldn't even be an advantage. Like take him down, cool. Now he's on his back with a guard I can't pass. Like,
it'd be interesting to see who like rivals Nicky at the next, because I don't imagine Nicky Rod will be going to, I don't know, will he do ADCC ever again? Will he get invited there? Will any of Craig's got, I guess
apparently the ADCC said anyone that pulled out or didn't do it has to do trials, but none of those guys that are on that money are going to bother doing trials, surely. Well, the Tackets are like, we'll do trials, we like trials anyway, it's a fun tournament. So the younger guys might, but guys like Nicky Rod, if they're going to make him do trials, he'll be like, let's go to CJI and get a milli.
Because doesn't look, he sliced through that division like fucking butter.
Yeah, and there's a few guys you could add in, but they were some of the best. Like, you know, you're going to add in Felipe Pena, Cyborg you already beat, but like, I think Felipe Pena looked great at ADCC. I think he's probably, you know, back up in top 2 or 3 in the world. Kanan Duarte, Felipe Pena, Nicky Rod. Those 3 guys alone in any tournament's going to make you watch heavyweights.
If Declan wins $1 million, what's your cut?
Nothing, man. That's all it is. I had all I've ever done for Declan is just support him and help him be the best he can be. I don't take any credit for what he does. Like, and Adams is his manager, but no, in terms of what Declan does, man, I would never ever ask anything or expect anything from him. You know, I just want to see him do the best he can do. I had my time trying to make it. Now I just like seeing younger guys, you know, go even way further than what I could in any discipline, Muay Thai, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, whatever.
There's some killer M16 Jiu-Jitsu is probably like known in Adelaide to be one of the tougher rooms to go in.
Yeah, we got a really good room, but we don't have a lot of active competitors. It's a crazy thing. Like, you come down to a Saturday open mat, and we might have like, you know, 3 black belts on the mat, a few brown belts, and it's like a ridiculously hard room. But then you go to a comp, we might only have 4 or 5 guys on. So I'm trying to like not push people to compete because you never have to compete, but I'm trying to talk guys into like start to get a bit more of a competitive culture. And I think seeing Declan and Taylor and myself on the open and some of the like more experienced people, obviously that's going to trickle down and people are going to be like, oh cool, we want to do that now if the coach is doing it and these guys are doing it. So that's how
people like Hero and Marcus and shit compete ever?
Hero has done 1 combat every belt, I believe. I don't know if he's done a black belt one. We're talking about doing Masters Worlds. There's the Vegas groups all talking like, let's go do Masters Worlds one time.
Where's that in like Vegas?
Yeah, I think that would be in Vegas or LA maybe.
If enough people drop out in your division, you could get a
default gold. Get a default gold. But yeah, Like Tom Puro, man, he can roll with anyone. He's so good, but he just doesn't like competing, which is like isn't not a knock on anyone. You don't have to compete.
I think he'd be a fantastic coach.
He is. He helps out. He's always like the assistant, whether he's part of the coaching staff or not. If he's in a class, you know he's going to be helping someone. And even when he rolls with me, so good at rolling. But yeah, he's one of my best training partners, especially near a comp. I know that I need to be like having really good rounds with Tom to know that I'm ready to compete. But yeah, it'd be cool if a bunch of us went and did Masters Worlds. And I think just competition's good for you, just to know that your jiu-jitsu works and just to feel what it's like to actually have a guy that wants to equally kill you, same belt, same weight, you know, same everything.
It'd be heaps different to hard rolling rounds in the gym as well.
Yeah,
it'd be like hard sparring in a fight.
It's like the same, but you gas straight away. You step out on the mat, everyone's watching you. You gas, you take a deep breath, adrenaline dump, and you just feel like you would in the gym, but like 50% shitter.
Is this your combat career's totally done though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll never do any striking again. Like, I do these super fights. I really enjoy it. Like, I'm the opposite. I really enjoy competition. Like, I don't know why, there's something about it. And it helps me train. I don't really train hard unless I have competition. I'm lazy and I feel like I just let myself down in the gym. As soon as I have a match, I feel switched on. So I'm going to always have some sort of goal, whether it's super fights, local comps,
golf,
Masters World. Just golf sucks. I play competition golf. We do like Stableford comp and I just suck. I barely even score. So sometimes I don't even put my card in because it's embarrassing.
You played a lot in Vegas. Was the course there good? It looked fucking epic. It was
sick. Yeah, we went out one morning and that was so good. Like in the middle of the desert, you know, you got like these wicked greens, and then as soon as the green stopped, it's just like desert sand and rocks. So it was pretty cool. Big mountain backdrops, and just good to get away from the strip. So
I've got clubs.
Yeah, come out for a round.
I got some second-hand clubs.
Yeah, nice. I got a full hand-me-down set. I got a putter from one guy. Junior always gives me his clubs he buys. He doesn't like them, so he hands me down. I got a driver from him. I got like a bit from everyone.
There's like a hell fucking thing with golf at the moment. People are jumping because at first Gilly did it before it was cool.
Well, Gilly's actually a fucking legit golfer.
Really?
Like he plays off like 3 or 4 over, which is like ridiculously good. You know, I think he goes in comps and stuff, but he's not like a recreational golfer. I think he's like a competition guy, not like PGA Tour. But I'm pretty sure he's like really good golfer in terms of local.
It's such a weird sport.
You never would have thought it. It was only when I started playing that I realised how good he was. I don't think he'll ever play with me. Hey, I'll just bring him down.
Where do you play? Do you go to like?
I'm a member at Wollonga.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you have to dress up?
Got a polo shirt and all.
You have to wear a polo?
You don't have to, but...
The only one I've ever been to, I went to Marion once.
Oh, yeah, like a Cement Hill or whatever.
Yeah, the 9-hole one.
Yeah.
I think that's made more for spastics.
Well, I'm so bad. And the more I play, the worse I get. I got heaps better scores when I first started than I do now. It's a hard game and it's fucking annoying.
Out of all of you, who like usually dominates is a Goody?
Yeah, Goody's good. Goody and his mate Cam, they're the best too. Match is pretty good too. I'm definitely the worst by far.
Goody is really good at those kind of sports. He likes cycling.
And it's fucked. I just like the Raz. I play with Goody and I'll hit like 7 bad holes, and then I'll just hit 1 on the green on the 8th hole. I'll be like, fuck, I'm on the green, and Goody will have a shit shot on that hole, and I'll just give him so much shit, and then I'll go up and I'll fucking 7-putt, and he'll chip it on and like still beat me on that hole, but I can't keep my mouth shut.
Do you just do the 418?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't really like it. It's too far to walk. We played last Friday. I walked 14 Ks. That's too far. I was like, you get a buggy when we do 18, or I'll walk 9.
Was it? How long does 18 take?
Fucking too long, like 4 hours, 4 and a bit hours. And then 9's like 2. So I mean, I just did it for something to get out of the gym and sort of like a bit of a hobby that was still active, but like, you know, get away from the gym, get outside and that. And then I started to enjoy it, and now I started to hate it because I'm trying to get better and I'm getting shitter. But it's fun, man. I reckon it's good fun anyway.
The driving range, because there used to be that tap-in bar. Do you remember that place? You used to go be able to get smashed.
Yeah, and you hit the golf balls from upstairs, and there's like holes in the back wall. And out at North Adelaide. No, we didn't have anything like that anymore. Top Golf in Vegas was sick. MGM had a Top Golf. That was fucking sick. Just getting drunk, hitting balls. We were like 5 stories up, so you could see the sphere and that in the background. It was fucking wild. That was killer. Yeah,
golf's like one of those sports that you have to, it's like wine, you have to kind of just start enjoying it when you're older, eh?
That's what they say, it's an old man sport. But when you're out there now, there's like heaps of young kids out there and like teenagers. Like, everyone's just getting into it because it's just, I don't know, it's pretty good fun, I guess.
There's a heap of fucking money in it if you're good too.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind Anderson being a pro golfer.
Yeah, get him in.
Just piggyback off him on the PGA Tour.
Do they train you at all?
Yeah, Anderson's right into Jiu-Jitsu at the moment. He loves it. He wants to compete, so probably...
He likes jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Really? That's strange because I didn't see him as like he's a pretty sweet kid.
Yeah, he's heaps kind of nature, which is good because I think he needs it. I don't think he's really going to be able to stick up for himself, but he does jiu-jitsu and wrestling 3 times a week and didn't really like Muay Thai. Wasn't into it at all, so I never pushed him to do any of it, but yeah, he's just taken to jiu-jitsu.
Chris is your problem.
Oh yeah, he'll be a Muay Thai guy whether he likes it or not. He loves punching and kicking. He's savage. With a name like Chris, he didn't really have any choice. Eh?
Yeah, if I were Anderson's like such a gentle kid.
But yeah, he's in the kids class and there's a bunch of kids around his age and that, so it's really good. They just kind of all started together, so they're picking it up really fast because you do when you have good training partners and you're training together all the time. It's easy to get good. Kids are like sponges.
Carey's kid would probably be they'd probably be.
Yeah, they're good as well. Harvey is the older one. He trains, but they train all together. They're all together in the kids' classes. They've done competitions and stuff before as well. So
heaps of people ask me, or like heaps of people I know with kids always ask me that aren't involved in any form of combat sport, like what's the best one to put a kid in? And I always say, I don't know, you know better than me, but I always say probably jiu-jitsu because there's a belting system.
Yeah.
And like they can see their progress visually through the colours of the belts and the gradings.
Yeah, I think jiu-jitsu's probably it's the most popular by far, but I think in terms of like your kids' development and stuff, wrestling's the best by far. You know, they do like the warm-ups, like basically gymnastics, and then wrestling's like a good base. Kids just like to wrestle, so like learning to, you know, fall over, break fall, forward rolls, back rolls, how to take someone down. I think that's the best, especially for anti-bullying and stuff. If you're like a kid and someone comes up and pushes you over at school, you're probably going to cry, not because it hurts, but because the shock of being pushed over. But if you've been wrestling for 2 years and you're 6 years old, you're going to get pushed over, probably break fall, stand up, and probably take them down. You know, I feel like that aspect of like wrestling is so much tougher than jiu-jitsu. Like that's why I got Anderson do wrestling first. And like the forward rolls, back rolls, all that stuff just makes your body aware and strong.
It'd probably be a good skill to learn when you're younger too, because if I went into a wrestling class now, I would not be able to walk for a week because I've never done it.
It takes its toll on your body, your neck, everything.
I used to watch Taylor warm up. Like whenever Taylor's in the gym warming up, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The funny thing is though, like obviously wrestling, not many kids are going to go on to wrestle, but the amount of kids that have done wrestling and jiu-jitsu at our gym, and then I see their parents and they're like, oh, such and such is playing footy now. You should see how when he tackles people, or you see how much balance he has when kids try and tackle him, because it gives you like life skills, not just jiu-jitsu. You know, if you're used to having people hanging off your waist trying to take you down, you're going to have a lot better balance than some kid who's never been tackled and just falls over as soon as someone comes near you. So it does transfer to other aspects of life too. And kids need resilience because the world's getting soft.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And
so when is the Open?
October 27.
So it's about a month and a half away.
Declan headlining, I'll be on it, Luke Marco will be on it. We have a massive interstate matchup between two absolute legends. One was a former Eternal MMA champion, the other one is Lucas Cainard's caning partner and I guess coach, so that's going to be a huge match. We'll drop that one very, very soon. And then a bunch of sick locals on there, so it's going to be a big card. Obviously having Declan back, it should be enough to sell it out.
And October, and then any fights coming up for any boys at M16?
DFC's next show is on October 13, I want to say. We got a young kid, Aaron, really good at Muay Thai. He's got a Muay Thai fight, amateur fight, September. Then DFC is in October. We have 3 guys on. Cam will be fighting Rohala from Trinity. That'll be good.
Cam is fighting?
Yeah, Cam's fighting. Zach's having another pro fight. He's fighting Frank Jankowski's brother, Ryan Jankowski, a very good amateur.
In what promotion?
On DFC.
Oh,
he's on DFC as well.
Yeah.
So he'll be having a pro fight. I imagine he'll be either main or one of the main fights. I don't really have that many pro fights on there. And another guy from the gym, Alex, is having a fight. And that's about it so far. We've got 3 guys on the Open, 3 guys on DFC. Another couple nominated, so we'll see. Maybe get on to, I think Eternal, we're doing a show late November, and that'll probably round out the year.
Boom. All right, man. Well, I'll let you to it because it is school night, but thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.